Okay, let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Wadita Visukadasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uccasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Jnanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa. All right, let's do some guided metta before we start. Short one. I sit here, let go of all the planning and thoughts. Give the mind present, calm and peaceful. Let the body relax. Whatever tension, whatever tightness, we let it all go. Relax from top of the head, on the forehead and face, slowly down to the neck and shoulders and arms, the chest area, stomach area, buttocks, hips, the thighs and knees, calves, ankles, soles, toes. So relax the body. We keep the mind alert, peaceful, and present. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us expand further into all the beings around here. Monks or nuns, to the fellow yogis, to the Dhamma workers, helpers, volunteers, to the donors and sponsors, to all the animals around, to all the petas, to all the garden devas of this center, to all other devas around here, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger. free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May we all be peaceful, be well, be healthy, and may all truly be happy. Now let us expand further, reaching out to all the beings in this country. Humans or non-humans, devas or petas, animals big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering. May they all be free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, be well, be healthy, and may they all truly be happy. Now let us reach out to all the beings in this world. All beings in this world, may they be our loved ones near or far away, or those people whom we do not know wherever they are, and to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. And to all the guardian devas of the Buddha Sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen, far or near. May all beings in this world, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful. May they all be peaceful. May they all able to live in peace and not in war. Live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings be well. May they be healthy. And may all beings truly be happy. Now let us expand as far as the heart can go, without limitation, without boundary, without exception, without condition. To all beings in this universe or universes, to all the beings from the highest plane of existence down to the lowest plane of existence, to all beings in all the world systems, all beings without exception, be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, able to live in peace with themselves and in peace with others. May all beings be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful, may they all be well, and may all beings truly be happy. Now slowly let go of the reflection on metta. Bring the mind back again to the present moment, to the body here and now. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. All right. So tonight we have a Q&A. Yeah? Then tomorrow we have a closing talk. Right. So we start off with this one. Huh? Not too many questions. Huh? Okay. Question number 1. What is your definition of a good meditator? What are the 3 most important qualities that a good meditator must have? What is your definition of a good meditator? What do you think? You're the one who meditates, not me. Yeah, you've been meditating, some of you with whole Vasa already. Some of you, it's not this the first time you do retreat. Yeah. So many times you do retreat already. Yeah. So what is the definition of a good meditator? Now, as long as you can progress in this meditation, or whatever meditation that you are in, progress rightly, then in a broad way, we define it as good meditator. But sometimes my good and your good now may be different. Because sometimes progress is one thing, attitude of a yogi is another thing. You see, sometimes we met with yogis, they can progress well. They can able to develop the meditation objects that you given to them and so on. Then they can progress after some time, well and good. That means they have done somewhere, somehow they're doing something right. Walking right, or sitting right, or daily activities right, they understand it rightly, they notice things rightly, then good. If you're able to do that, then well and good. Yeah. But a good progress doesn't mean it changes your attitude straight away. Your attitude could be, a person can be a quite bossy, quite arrogant. It's quite easy to get somehow anger arises, somehow strong desire. Yeah. So sometimes for some people, a lot of people, when they see another yogi, you do not know whether the yogi progress or not, because all internal, isn't it? But a lot of times when we look at a yogi, if you do not know the person, It's usually we look at the attitude first, the character of the person. It's not whether which inside are you. Then we don't ask them like that, isn't it? Yeah. So we see the character of the yogi. Yeah. So we see the character of the yogi. A lot of times we put judgment there. How come that meditate so long already? The anger so easily bursts out. Huh? Some people like that. Some people, the characteristic is one thing, the progress is another thing. So when you see a yogi, usually we see it from the front. You're not in the interview room sitting together with me to hear what is the yogi going through. Yeah. So the thing is that when we sometimes define the yogis, a lot of times you define from their attitude, on their behavior, how they speak and how they think and so on. Yeah. But progress of a meditation can be quite different. Can be quite different. Let's say or even the person can be like he went to 1 or 2 retreat, then after that the mind become very calm and peaceful and so on, but no progress. But when you look at it, the person after some time, wow, this person changed a lot. Before that, he was so uh, uh, rough, and so this and now so much more calmer, more pleasant, and so on. Most probably the retreat has gone well. But that yogi, in terms of progress, is just attached to all the peace and calm only, and calm, peaceful inside. Then it project out in the everyday life. Then you look at the yogi, oh, holy, very good yogi. Then you already misjudge already. We very misjudge already. Yeah. There's one during the Buddha's time. There's a venerable Tucho Potila, the Buddha called him. Tucho means empty, empty Potila. Because he can speak well. He can speak well, he can speak the Dhamma well, he can articulate the Dhamma well, but no progress. So people thought that he must be an Arahant already. Oh, because he can able to speak well, behavior well, and so on. But the Buddha can see through him. And see through him, it says that habuk pun tada. Nothing yet, but good at speaking. No, nothing yet. But then after that, the Buddha, now this story also interesting, and is then he has to be, and also of course because of his his ability, he become arrogant, he become conceited. And then he knows that his fault already. Now somehow the Buddha pointed his fault. Now he began to seek for Dhamma, to seek for true development, in the meditation. Nobody dared to teach him because it's too pandai. Nobody there. Until he comes to a 7-year-old Samanera who happens to be an Arahant. Then only he start learning from a Samanera. The first thing the Samanera asked him, you see that pool of mud over there? You go there and roll yourself there. So you roll yourself there, then only that means you're humble enough to listen to what I'm going to teach you. If you cannot able to take from a 7-year-old, how are you going to learn? So to see that whether he can able to do all the commitment or not. So he went down and so on. So after that, he started to meditate. And the meditation also I think also is quite interesting also. It's about, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know whether it's correct. It's about like an ant hill, or a lizard, an ant hill. with 6 holes, Then the summoner asks him, how are you going to catch that cicak? How are you going to catch the lizard like that? Huh? So he said that you must cover the 5 holes, only allow 1 hole. Then we come out from that, you catch it there. Yeah. So the same thing is that when you are meditating, then you cover all the 5 senses. You protect all the 5 senses, and one senses is pay attention to the object. That's what we do, right? So for him, just to tell him a little bit of that, he had understood, meditate after that, Arhan already. Yeah. So luckily he able to bring down his conceit, and then he can able to develop. So you see, in the world out there, when we mistaken for what is a good meditator, then we mistaken them by their attitude. And attitude does not mean that they are great meditator. They are progress well. Whereas for me, if it's a good meditator, wonderful meditator, that means there must be certain progress. And of course, there will be best will be enlightenment. At the first stage, the higher, the better, Arhan will be the best. So this is how we look into it. So nevertheless, we cannot judge a person's progress because we don't have the psychic power like the Buddha. Whether you progress or you don't progress, we do not know. No? So a lot of times we give a benefit of the doubt. We give the person a benefit of the doubt. That means perhaps if he or she has tried well, tried hard, or he has tried very hard, very well, then if the progress will be his or will be hers. Yeah? If you yourself progress, if you yourself work hard, work well, then you can see progress in yourself. Nobody can know, Nobody can really understand you unless the person is a meditator themselves. Unless you are open up in terms of words and speech. We don't have the ability to look into your mind, then we know exactly where you are. I also do not know exactly where you are in terms of which insight or whatever. But I know that if you are doing it right, then it's perfect already. You are not in the wrong path, you're still in the right path, you're still struggling, you're still pushing, you're still developing, then well and good. So that form, that means you have done your homework, you have done, you put in the effort, walk, sit, and so on, then the progress comes in. That, in a way, is a good meditator. But doesn't mean every time good meditator also they are easy to get near to them. Some people are just so difficult because of the attitude problem. So as I said, we must learn to open up and see things a little bit more. So finally, we really do not know who really progresses. In the sense of a good meditator. So this is quite subjective. So this is on my take on my idea. So different teachers may have different. You yourself will have different thing. The second question: what are the 3 most important qualities that a good meditator must have? Sometimes I look at this type of questions like as if like a interview question. Sometimes it's like, what are the 3 most important quality for a swimmer? Then you ask the swimmer, or an athlete, for example. You see, all these important qualities that we have shared, and also the Buddha's teachings and so on, different people have different qualities. Different people finally have different qualities. But if you ask me to summarize what are 3 most important qualities, then it finally is Sila, Samadhi, and Panya in the broad sense. If you don't, you are missing one of the factor, then how are you going to progress in your meditation? Missing one of it. Let's say your sila is very bad. How are you going to progress? Impossible. Your sila is very good, but your defilements are so much, mental defilements, not much of calm and samadhi and so on. If there is a calm and samadhi but no panya, no penetrative state of mind, and so on, also cannot. So you're missing of any one of sila, samadhi, panya in a broad sense, then that is the most. If you're missing one, that means the progress will not take place already. Yeah? So finally, it boils down to sila, samadhi, panya. Yeah? But again here, when it comes to a more specific ones, in what sense, in what way the sila, in what way the concentration, in what way is the panya, then it becomes individual already, very individual towards the person already. So it's impossible for us to give a specific answer for the yogi, or for that thing. So as long as you keep on make effort, but usually if these important qualities that you have, if you don't translate it into coming to retreat and putting in the effort, then good qualities only lah, but cannot ripen. A lot of us may not have all these qualities on and on. A lot of this type of qualities that it is not all, it's not strong. It is not strong in all of us as putujana, it's still not strong. So all that means we still have to make effort and keep developing the sila, samadhi, panya. That means we have to put in effort again and again and again and again and again. And sometimes certain qualities will mature if you put in the effort. Okay? So this is on the sila, samadhi, panya in a very broad sense. But if you next time you come to me specifically, maybe they will be tailored to you, Some people, for example, you say effort is the most important quality. Let's say but the person has so much effort already, so great effort already, but certain other things are lacking. So you have to push on that thing. Some people have lacking of effort, a bit lazy and so on. Then they have to push the effort higher, stronger. So that effort will be important for the person. So some yogis can be a bit different here and there, slightly different here and there in terms of the specific qualities. Okay, next question. During retreat, mindfulness seems to drop suddenly and must be built up. Let me see. It must be built up again. What factors are causing this condition? During retreat, mindfulness seems to drop suddenly and must be built up again. What factors are causing this condition? Now here, one of the biggest factor that cause your noting mind to drop. One of the biggest problem is your defilements or your hindrances. The problem is that we don't see the hindrances that clearly. Some days, some retreat, a lot of hindrances is coming in. Was during in the retreat, 3 days you are going well, and then after that, 1 or 2 days, nothing much. So because somewhere in between, the defilements or the hindrances has crept in and you don't see it. And a lot of times these hindrances, when they comes in, they come in very subtly. They come in very quietly. They come in as if like your friend. For example, like You try to meditate. For example, let's say you try to meditate, watch rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling, and then the thoughts has crept in. That you start thinking, oh, how's this rising, falling is right? It's like, oh, it's moved in this way. Then you try to describe it and you try to remember it. And then is this rising, falling wind element, or is it a hot? The back of the mind is start making commentaries. You start making commentary about the object that you are noting. To you, it may seem that what's the big problem? What's the big problem? But the bigger problem is not actually this commentary, but this commentary, it will lead to more and more thinking. And then after that, the whole noting mind collapse, as if like nothing there, and a lot of thinking mind comes up. A lot of thinking mind comes up. It's all because it's already connected to a bit of agitation that come up, and you don't take note of it, and it's trigger it, and then you come in further, then the whole day and night, and then you go in this one, things like that. Yeah? Or even like, for example, during the retreat, then you somehow go and touch your mobile phone and go and see your apps and see your messages. You just take one or two look only, 5 hours gone. 5 hours gone. Yeah. But we're looking at the message. I mean, this is to you is important, important. I just have to see, just have to pick only. Yeah lah, pick only lah. Yeah. Yeah. These things happen. As I said, it can come in as just like as if like it tells you that it's something important. It tells you like it is, it is as if like a friend. But it triggers after that, it triggers a lot of it. And then after that, 2 or 3 days, cannot meditate. The mind is not there. Yeah, the mind keep on dropping. Yeah. So that's why, especially the beginners, the fragility of the noting mind, it's like it's a very, like a glass, sekali you drop money, pecah semua. Everything, spread out. So you have to be very careful with the mindfulness. And sometimes, for example, like daily activities. Yeah. Sometimes over here, I may not have all the time to listen to your daily activities now, Sometimes I do. But beginners, I try to listen to it as much as possible. But these are the things that sometimes you have to take note, because it is when the daily activities it's where you're not fully mindful. And a lot of times yogis tend to just let go. They don't care, don't bother. Yeah. They come in here, like for example, from your ladies' female hall, you come here, you don't pay attention. You just open the door up and then you walk as if like at home, You don't walk mindfully. You don't do carefully. So along the way, somewhere around, perhaps the thoughts already come in, desire already come in, planning already come in. But we don't see it carefully. Then all these things keep running. So, other words, when you're going for sitting or walking, oh, how come the mind is so much thinking? If you are able to do your daily activities properly, carefully, mindfully, very sharply, very clearly, and more in a continuous manner, then when it comes into sitting, you don't have to start off with a walking. You can straight away go to a sitting, because the daily activities is already pump up all your mindfulness and clarity and everything already. So the moment that you sit down, everything is already start for you already. Uh, but we don't do that. That's why. That's why a lot of times all this uh, the mindfulness drop. Uh, this thing, the mindfulness drop. So most of the yogis, this is where they are somewhere around their mindfulness become totally gone during in the retreat. These things, no matter how careful you are, yeah, how careful, it will still drop. That's a problem, you know. But the thing now is that we don't want it to drop so much. We want it to be as little as possible. That means when there's not much of mindfulness, that means it's in a short time that you can able to bring back the clarity of the mind. But it will still drop once in a while, yeah, no matter how careful you are. Now here, what is important here is that when the mind drops, that you must have the skills to bring it back again. You know, it's the skills to bring it back again. A lot of times people do not have the skill of to bring the whole mind back again. Therefore, when it drop for a long period of time, for a day or two or three or four, and then after that, confidence get very this one, it's not so strong anymore. So if you happen to drop, don't worry that it dropped. You know, what is important is that build it up again. Build it up again through your skills from your walking, sitting, through from your daily activities, and try to note again and again, however that is familiar to you. If you don't have these skills, then the mindfulness is going to take a long time. I mean, it's going to be very slower. No? So therefore, the skills is very important. No? How to actually pay attention, how to walk, how to sit, how to which object to note, which object don't note, things like that. Uh, I put it all as skills, you know. So these are important. Every retreat that you go, somehow or another, the mind will drop. Somehow, as you go higher, you get less. As the mindfulness gets further, much more continuous and so much more better, then it gets less. But the thing is that, especially in the beginner part, that's why in the beginning part, the way of vipassana, it will filter out a lot of yogi out on its own, because you cannot control the defilements. Mindfulness keep on dropping, or noting mind keep on dropping. Therefore, when it's not dropping, there's no progress. When there's not much progress, confidence also on the meditation is also become wobbly, and not much of this one. Then problematic. Then finally, the yogis usually will give up. So don't fall into that category. So make sure that in retreat after retreat that you go in the future, you make the effort again and again, whether in the walking, sitting, or daily activities. Then you will see a lot of progress. A lot of times also, yogis are so involved into thinking a lot, planning, thinking, which insight, which this one, and so on. All this type of thinking, the surrounding, the noting, that also it become very difficult. And this type of thinking usually, if they are not careful, it goes into a lot of doubt, self-doubt. Become very doubtful about your own practice. Then of course, with that type of doubt, now of course, if you have a teacher, you can able to straighten your doubt, overcome your doubt, then well and good. But the problem is sometimes some yogis will keep on very curious, over curious about their meditation. I said, just pay attention, just note now. But they cannot. They just have to think. The further that you higher that you go, this type of doubt become less and lesser. All you know that it's just paying attention. Yeah, yeah. It's usually in the beginning part, there's a lot of thinking of how to do, what to do, and so on. Yeah, a lot of their sometimes the yogi's own idea. So much idea inside there, surrounding just a little bit of what they note. So that's why it slows down, or sometimes it becomes a hindrance to the progress of the yogi. Yeah. When you go further and deeper into the development, there's no time for you to think. The moment you start thinking about the object, immediately the progress stop there. It immediately shows you it stop. Then you stop all the thinking, it will start again. Nothing changing. You start thinking, stop right there and show it to you. Yeah. Okay, next one. All right, next one. This is more of a psychology question, I think. There are times when the mind is aware of what to speak or how to react while having a conversation. However, what is intended does not follow through in speech, and the mind can't seem to do anything but just watch it happen. Example: what is intended to be a to what is intended is a soft tone, but words that come out are different and harsher tone. What can I do in this situation? Thank you. There are times when the mind is aware of what to speak and how to react while having a conversation. However, what is intended does not follow through in speech, and the mind can't seem to do anything but just watch it happen. For example, what is intended is a soft tone, but words that come out are different and harsher tone. What can I do in this situation? I'm supposed to be meditating, meditator. Ask me this type of question. Usually, I'm not good at all this type of thing. Yeah. For example, I give you another way, give you another way of how you look at what your mind thinks and how your um, tone come out or your voice come out and everything. Sometimes you listen to a song, you listen to it again and again. You know the lyrics very well, you know the rhythm very well, but you try to sing it now. you can feel the tone inside your mind, You can feel the tone inside your mind, but sekali keluar is like a frog, rocking like kata. How come in your mind, you can able to know it, that type of song or that type of voice in a very smooth voice, in a very smooth tone, but when it comes out in your voice, you cannot repeat it. You cannot go what is in the mind and what is supposed to come out. So therefore, it's actually have to do with skills. In skills of how you talk. Yeah, in the skills of how you talk. Yeah. Some people like giving talks and in the worldly talks, in a worldly or or conversation, or they are very prolific and they are very articulate, and they can way the voice articulate their voice and their tone and everything, as if like everybody is so mesmerized. So mesmerized with what they speak, wow. It's so deep inside them, because a lot of all these things does not come overnight. It's all about training, training how to speak and so on. They repeat the whole thoughts inside their mind, and over time, before their rehearsal and all that thing, Yeah. They want to sell you that MLM one, let's say, to make sure that you buy or make sure that you fall into it. A lot of them are rehearsing the words and the tone. So that means, in other words, you have to have skills in it. If you're a habit of speaking a more harsher tone and suddenly you think you want, but you still come out with your habit, because you are not trained into these type of things. So therefore, you have to train. So you have to train again and again. If you want a certain tone, certain way of speaking, you have to train yourself. Just like a singer train, but this time is in the voice training. Yes, sometimes that the certain ways you speak a little bit faster, sometimes you speak a little bit slower, sometimes you speak a stronger tone, sometimes you speak a softer tone. It has an impact on how people listen to you. Yeah, it has this type of impact. Yeah. 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 So it is important. It is important that I mean this type of tones is certain in a certain way it is important. But the tone here actually and voice and so on, they are actually still secondary. What is primary here? You check your mind whether it's truthful or not when it's going to come out. Whether it's truthful or not, a bit harsher, never mind. Sometimes softer, also good. Is it truthful or not? You check your speech and see. If it's truthful, then good. Then the next thing you check, is it beneficial to the party or not? Is it beneficial to the party that your conversation that's going to come out? If you come out not beneficial to them, although it's truthful, not to them, then keep silent. Yeah. That one is more important. So it's whether whether it's truthful or not, whether it's beneficial to the party or not. Yeah. Then the third one, whether it's timely or not. Whether it's timely or not. Sometimes even you give a Dhamma talk, if you're not at the right time for the person or the people, then the talk is not, although it's truthful, is beneficial but not timely. Yeah. Supposing I give a meditation talk, or okay, or put it around. If I give just this whole 3 months, let's say, I give all kinds of Dhamma talk except meditation. Let's say, I give all kinds like dana, sila, and it's still wholesome also, still wholesome. Yeah? Talk about deva, talk about hantu, talk about spirit, talk about 31 plane of existence and things like that. Talk the whole 3 months. And nothing on walking, sitting, and so on. Yeah? Yeah? Then it is still truthful, it is still beneficial in a certain way, but it may not be timely, but it may not be beneficial also. Yeah. So, if a conversation that comes out or the speech that come out, then the primary thing is whether it's truthful, whether it's beneficial to you, whether it's timely to the person that's listening. Uh, uh, You cannot like go to in the let's say in a shopping mall, then they have a platform for you and a mic and a speaker and everything. Then you can talk Four Noble Truth. You can talk Four Noble Truth in the shopping mall like that. I think people will hear you. Then it's truthful. May not be beneficial, but may be beneficial to some, but it's not timely. It's the wrong place, the wrong time. You see what I mean? Yeah. So other words, this criteria is more important than how the tone comes out. Now, the Buddha says that sometimes the speech also has to come out with whether it's harsh speech or a strong speech or a pleasant way. Yeah? But this criteria is optional. This criteria is optional because sometimes the Buddha also admonish yogis, admonish the monks also. You admonish them also. Not necessary all the time. Meditate, walking, sitting, and all that thing. There's no such thing like that. Not all the time. Sometimes it says, foolish monk, stupid monk, come here. In a very admonishment type of tone. So it can be a problematic. It can be that criteria can be optional. But if we find that if on a certain occasion we need to admonish, we have to admonish. If certain occasion we have to speak more pleasantly, then we speak more pleasantly. We change. This is what happened in the interview room. Sometimes, most of the time, I speak properly, but sometimes some yogis, really stubborn, arrogant. They just don't listen to you. They are always they have other teachers in mind. Although they want to come to your retreat, but there are other teachers always in mind. Somehow or another, and somehow like they like to compare teachers and compare this style. Very ugly one, this type of yogis. So some yogis I have to shout at them, and very rare lah, but I did once or twice or few times before lah. Some yogis just cannot. So you have sometimes you have a bit stronger words. But that is not my nature. That is not my nature. But sometimes I do, because it has to put the whole message across. Because too soft with them, they cannot really. So the tone is secondary, as I said. What is primary is whether it's truthful, whether it's beneficial, whether it's timely for the person, for the person that is hearing it. Okay. Next one. Okay. Now this again. Now this question and the next question. Well, since this is the last Q&A, I entertain you all. If not, now. This question not too bad. The next question is a bit difficult. Now, number 5. As a layperson, we normally would like to give support and dana to practicing monks and nuns. But there are many non-practicing ones and some even fake monks and nuns. Please give advice how we can discern and give wisely. As a layperson, we normally would like to support and dana to practicing monks and nuns, but there are many non-practicing ones and some even fake monks and nuns. Please give advice how we can discern and give wisely. Yeah. All right. This one you got to be careful on the way that you think about monks and nuns. Because not many people are practicing monks, but they are still monks. Yeah. They're still bhikkhus. Some bhikkhus may be more into practice, which is far and few in between actually. There are bhikkhus also, there are monks or nuns who are on missionary work. Some monks or nuns also, they are completely dedicate themselves into doing all kinds of missionary work, like Dharma talks or like giving services or giving this and that. They're still a figure to a certain community, but not to you. It may not be to you, but it may still a certain important figure in other part of the society, other part of Buddhist, other Buddhist devotees. Yeah. So the thing is that we have to look into them also in that way. Then there are monks who don't do all these type of things. There are monks who like completely like you don't even see them, you know. But some monks are a bit their ways of their attitude and the ways of doing a lot of this one. Their vinaya may not be so good, but they do not break major precepts. They break minor precepts. So, in other words, they are still bhikkhu, technically. Technically, they are still bhikkhu in that sense. So, therefore, when we want to view monks in that way, just because that you are a practitioner, just don't try to discriminate in the sense that, oh, this is better monk, the rest is not a good monk. Yeah, don't do like that yet. Don't do it in that way. Yeah. Yeah. Just because that somebody is practicing, it could be practicing wrongly, leh. we all kinds of what is not nibbana already nibbana, leh. Oh, although they practice, as I said, they can practice wrongly and they hold on to a lot of wrong views due to the practice. But then, because you cannot discriminate these things, because you cannot see these things, oh, they are practicing monk. Yeah, they are practicing monk, must be good monk. Yeah, but they hold on to certain wrong view, so you do not know. Yeah? No, there, there are monks and nuns in the world of the Buddhist community. You know, each one of us will, do different ways of doing things or emphasize different things. Yeah? Like for example, you look at me, you look at meditation already. Yeah? Like I'm like a symbol for that. Yeah. Yeah. Or you may look at certain monks, you know that, oh, that certain monk is like, oh, do a lot of charity work, a lot of helping, and so on. Yeah. Certain monk has this way, and so on. This is how you perceive the monks. But as long as they're all in the sense that they're wholesome and they're doing wholesomely, or they live wholesomely in that sense, as long as they do not break especially the first four precept of a bhikkhu or a nun, then that one is the having sexual intercourse with opposite sex, same sex, or even animals, or any form of intercourse, then it's automatically disrobed. Then you have a second one is like if you steal. Third one, you kill a human being. Intentionally, you kill a human being. You kill a cockroach, you're still a monk. But you kill a human being, then not. You see, there's the human being, automatically you kill a human being, then automatically disrobe. No more monk. Whether you hide or not, you're already no more monk. And the third one, you claim you to have a psychic power, which you know that you don't have, in order uh, to make to confuse people, or to get some merits and some donation and whatever. You deceive people, you deceive devotees, then that one is automatically disrobed. Yeah. But some monks think that they have psychic power. They think that they believe that they have psychic, but actually they don't have. That one is not disrobing. That's a different thing. That one is that one is different thing. But this one, he knows that he doesn't have. Then it tells that he have. They're kind of hypocrite, in that sense. Then these are automatically disrobed. So as long as the monks doesn't fall into that category, then well and good. Technically they are still a monk, and and of course, as I said, the monks have had many types. Yeah. Now that is how we should view monks. That is how we should view, especially the bhikkhus. In that sense, how we view in that way. Viewing is one way, but your question is about giving and dana, that is another thing. All right, that is another thing. Because when we give or dana, our resources are limited. And that is a difference. This one. You don't like multi-billionaire every month you want to give. Cannot. Your financial or your gifts or whatever is limited. That is limited. So the time you want to give to the Sangha. So you want to give to the this one, if the practicing monk, if the people usually, when you give, in also in the sense that sometimes they are connected to you. You know the person, you know the monk, you know the nun, you are more willing to give because you know that what they are doing. You see what they are doing, and you know their background, you know them for some time. Then because of that, because of the yen, because of the connection, then we give. We are more willing to give in that sense. But nevertheless, when we give, also we give it in the sense that it's for the support of the monk, also in the sense that also support for the sangha. Yeah? Because if how you view your giving has a different impact on the karmic potential, karmic resultant. It has a different karmic resultant. If you give to an individual monk, whether it's virtuous or not really virtuous, there are still merits also. Yeah? Now, if you give to, let's say, to arahant or enlightened ones, there are still also merits also. But the merits already here is incalculable already, according to the Buddha. Yeah? It's already incalculable already. But if you give to a sangha, not just any, not just, I mean, it don't have to be a practicing monk, but to your mind, the person is a sangha, or representative of a sangha. Because when you give with the idea that the person is a representative of a sangha, then you reap also incalculable merits also, according to the Buddha. Incalculable merits. Even the person is not enlightened, but the person represent enlightened ones. Okay, they represent enlightened ones. So when they give in that sense, they also reap tremendous merits. Okay, so it all depends on how you view the thing. Even the person is a fake monk. Even the person is a fake monk. But let's say nowadays there are a lot of fake monks. They come in to the market area, in the night lah, not in the morning lah, At night, they come in and then they take the bowl and tasting. In Malaysia, quite a lot. In Malaysia, there are some movements among the devotees and so on. They have been putting, signboard or maybe flyers and everything to inform people that monks only receive food, things, but not money and so on. So they've been putting here and there. I saw that in Facebook, which is also is good. It's good, to educate the people, because a lot of people thinks that everybody that wears robe must be real. So now the thing is about the fake monk. You do not know whether they are fake or not. Even let's say the monk is before that was real, then he commits the parajika. He killed somebody, but he still wear a robe. So technically he's a fake monk already. Although he's no more a monk, but he's a fake monk, but still wear robes, let's say, Then in that sense, and you as a person who still give to a fake monk, but still believe that the person is real Sangha, then the merits also incalculable. The merits also incalculable because it's how you view the giving. It's not how, it's not just only the person, it's how you view the giving. But of course, if the one is a real Sangha or is an Arahant, and then you have a purified mind and then purified gift, and then everything is good, then perfect. They'll be perfect. But in the world, not every time is perfect in that way. So very much to do is how you take note of how your intention of that giving. You take note of the intention, you're aware of that intention that you give to the person, and also you give it in the sense of to the Sangha. You know? Normally, although we say to the Sangha, a lot of times we also give to the person that we know of because of limited resources. Say for example, there's a group of monks there, a group of monks or nuns there, and then you have limited resources. Although you look at them as monks, but normally we go and give the person that we know. It's human nature, human connection. Yeah? So this is how you should view the giving, in that way. All right, next one. Is it? Yeah. This one very dicey this one. Please clarify between Sayale Meiji versus Bhikkhuni. Please clarify the difference between Sayale Meiji versus Bhikkhuni. Question 2. Does Sayale represent the monastic? As layperson, we often encounter Sayale due to Burmese tradition. How should we regard them? Is it the same as other yogis? Okay. First of all, please clarify between what is Sayale versus Bhikkhuni. Now, this question, you see, different monks will give you again different interpretation. Okay. Now, the Sayales, for example, like in front here, there's two Sayale, the way they wear, the precepts they're taking, and how the ordination is being taken, was taken at the first time. So then they wear the robes, they live in the monastic life, then we regard them as Sayale, or if in the Thai tradition, we regard them as Meiji. Whereas Bhikkhuni, here the Bhikkhuni here, again here, in the Theravada tradition, some monastics are some monks does not recognize the Theravada Bhikkhuni because this is a very recent thing. Now, some monks recognize the Theravada Bhikkhuni. So, in other words, because of this Theravada Bhikkhuni, then there is views among the monks are very different. Which camp are you siding? Which camp? And this has become a very delicate issue, a very delicate issue. You see, if you ask me, so Bhante, where do you stand on this issue? So where do you stand on this issue? You see, if I were to against the Theravada Bhikkhuni, then a whole group of monks will against me. If I side with the Theravada Bhikkhuni, then the other opposite camp also will go against me. if you say that you don't cite the bhikkhuni, or neither you cite or don't cite, then both camp also will say you better take one. You also better take one. So where's your stand right now? So it's a bit delicate issue. A bit delicate issue. So it all depends on how you view and all these type of things. Uh, it's how you view in this way, what type of monks you are in, whether you're a bhikkhuni, whether you're a sayale, how they look at these things. In the recent years, it becomes an issue, a big issue for a certain monastic tradition. And it's a big issue. Yeah, it's a big issue. Some says that ordination, it is not valid because accordingly, the tradition of Theravada Bhikkhuni has has gone when it came to Sri Lanka. Because at one time, Sri Lanka was going through many years of famine. So the famine, then the Bhikkhuni, the lineage of a Theravada Bhikkhuni died down. But then again here, so with that, the conservative of the monks will say that since it's already died down, you cannot revive it anymore, because in order for it to be revived, it needs it needs a Theravada Bhikkhuni tradition to ordain the nun to the person, and also he needs a Sangha to ordain the person. That means he has a double ordination there. One from a Theravada Bhikkhuni, one from a Sangha Bhikkhuni. A Sangha Bhikkhu. Sangha Bhikkhu. So here, if you don't have the Theravada Bhikkhuni, how are you going to ordain the person? So according to this one. But according to another school of thought, is that Theravada, this bhikkhuni is still survive in the Mahayana tradition. It survive in the Vajrayana tradition. They have bhikkhunis also, then the conservative says that it's very different already, because the way the ordination, the way that how they do is very different. But some monks interpret that it is correct, it is still valid. So when it's valid, then you can start to ordain Theravada Bhikkhuni again, because you have a Theravada, you have a Bhikkhuni still there. So it's a bit delicate issue over here. Yeah, a bit delicate issue. So therefore, if you talk on, let's say, Theravada Bhikkhuni, now if you talk about Theravada Bhikkhuni right now, not let's say, don't apply it nowadays. Now, in the Theravada Bhikkhuni, you're supposed to have 311 precepts. There are more precepts than the Sangha, than the monks. But does that mean that more precepts, they are higher? Not really, Don't think that more precepts, they are higher. Because even they have 311 precepts. Accordingly, in the tradition, if they have a proper, if you have to bow down to a monk, you have to pay respect to a monk. Even the bhikkhuni has been like 30, 40 years as a bhikkhuni. And then that monk is just, or that bhikkhu just ordained the first day. Then that bhikkhuni also have to pay respect to the person. That's how the Buddha laid down, not because of how we want it. Because again, here you must realize that during the Buddha's time, the community, during that community, is the patriarchal society. Male first. The male is always on the top. The female is very way down, So if you find that the male in the society, male begin to pay respect to this one, it jeopardizes the whole community. We should not think of how we want equality in our modern life right now. It's very different society compared to that compared to now, during the Buddha's time and compared to now. This 2,500 years ago. So, so it's very different society, different culture, different thing. So that's why the Buddha prevents the even the monk to pay respect to the bhikkhuni because of how the society view the monks, how they view the whole system. So nowadays, but we're talking about equality thing. And that also is another area lah. I don't want to go inside. Then I'll go inside. Tomorrow I cannot go back. Tomorrow it will start start a bit hot. Uh, so Theravada Bhikkhuni. So the Bhikkhuni they have 311 precepts. Theravada Sale Mechi they have 8 precepts or 10 precepts. If they want to have the precept of not taking money. Anyway, these are the certain thing. And again, here is how they wear. So Bhikkhuni also they wear something like that. They wear also something like this. But again, here whether, let's say in Malaysia, whether do people recognize them? Do devotees recognize them? Does Buddhist society recognize, or does the temple recognize them, or the monastery recognize them? So it's a bit dicey over here. So the difference is very much to do with how they ordain, what are the precepts, the thing like that. Now, does Sayale represents the monastic? Does Sayale represent the monastics? Spiritually, yes. Technically, not really. But that is another area. Technically, not really, because then I mean, in the traditional Theravada system, it's bhikkhu bhikkhunis is in a way is the monastics, bhikkhuni. But whereas, as I said, to the lineage is already gone, and then in the Burmese tradition, they recognize only Sayale. Yeah? They recognize Sayale. So in a way, spiritually, yes. Because in Burma, there are many monasteries which is all Sayale only. They're all Sayales only. They are young, from very young to a very old. They're all nuns only. And you go there, you pay respect to them also. You go there, you donation. You go there, you look at them. Everything is very spiritually organized. Yeah. It's very spiritually organized. They have their way of doing things. They are very systematic in a certain way, teaching, behavior, and so on. So spiritually, they represent the monastic. Not that they don't. So they spiritually, they still represent the monastic. So as long as we are not so biased in our way of how one person wear and what is that, so we have to be more careful, because I've seen that many devotees sometimes when they look at nuns, a Meiji, or whether it's a Sayale, they really look down on them, as if like they are third class of nothing there. So don't do. So when we want to deal with them, make sure that we also give them certain respect also. After all, they are less hair than you. For ladies that have no hair, it's a big thing. After all, in a way they ordain also. And also there are people in the monastic, because of that also, they don't work. They don't go outside anymore. They don't go outside and do all kinds of things. They stay in monastery. They practice in a sense. So very much to do like a practitioner, but in a silence ropes, in the ropes. So we give them due respect. We give them due respect. It's perfectly all right, because they are wholesome people. They are virtuous people too. Yeah. If you treat them like, sometimes some places they treat the nuns as just like any other yogis. Usually I don't really, I don't really agree. Something like that. You know, when you take a flight now, you take a flight now, you have like economy seat, you have a business class, economy class, business class. Siley is like a premium economy. Somewhere in between, but you are not business class yet, but you're still premium economy. You're higher than all the economy. Something like that now. Yeah, in a way they are higher in that sense. So something like that. So so that's, I think that's about all for tonight's Q&A. Let me see. I don't think I have anything. So how do we regard them? So just now, as I mentioned, that we just give them their due respect. Some people pay respect to them and so on. Then it's perfectly all right too. Okay, so that's about it for tonight. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so tomorrow we have a closing. What we'll do is that Sister Sam also will come up to give a talk, a speech or two, to whatever. And so then on Sunday, we can leave on after breakfast. Okay, so we share merits. Idang me bawanang nibanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.